combined newsrooms in Eugene, Roseburg, and Coos Bay. KVAL News at 6 starts now.
Good morning, everyone. As we kick off this Monday, August the 2nd, I'm Sean Quare. We are tracking some developing news right now in Douglas County. That's because happening right now, firefighters are working to contain 8 lightning-sparked fires. The Douglas Forest Protective Association reporting those fires overnight, all stemming from the lightning strikes which came through with that storm Sunday evening. However, due to that weather, crews were not able to use any air support to drop fire retardant, but we're told that the crews have been ordered for this morning. At this time, no structures are threatened. But John, we're talking lightning when it's dry. That's not a good combination.
Not at all. That was really the big fear for the past week or so. We've seen some of these dry thunderstorms rolling through. Earlier in the season, it was all east of the Cascades, but now we're starting to get some of that actually works its way towards the I-5 corridor. And that's where we begin to see some bigger problems that start to head our way. Now, while most of that has really calmed down for us at this point, really not much of anything that's making its way through early this morning. Yesterday, very different story. You can see all those little blips there. Those are lightning strikes that we were tracking down in Douglas County, and especially yesterday, late afternoon, early evening. That's when we saw a lot of lightning strikes moving through along the I-5 corridor, and that's where we can start to run into some major issues. Now, thankfully, things have calmed down for us early on this morning, but now that we've managed to calm back down, we're starting to clear back out, and that means another chance to bring on some serious heat. And while there will be a bit of a haze in the air, certainly going to be another chance to see more widespread 90s right around the corner. Yesterday, we saw widespread 90s from Corvallis down to Roseburg with triple digits even further to the south, 104 in Medford. So how much longer are we in for more of this 90-plus degree heat before we finally get a bit of a break? We'll have a closer look at that coming up. Sean?
And new developments on raging wildfires in Oregon and as well as California. Firefighters say that they're making some good progress on the largest fire in the U.S., and that's here in Oregon, the Boot Lake Fire. This is burning in southern Oregon. The fire now 84% contained, and that's up by 10% from just Sunday alone. Now, this fire has scorched, if you can imagine, 650 square miles. It has been burning since early July. To Northern California now, where authorities have also canceled an evacuation order for communities near the Dixie Fire. That fire is now 33% contained. Also now to the Jack Fire in Douglas County. That's up to 76% containment. The Jack Fire has burned over 23,000 acres, and multiple small fire starts have recently ignited in a remote location in the upper Steamboat Creek drainage. That's following the lightning storms that John was talking about that passed through the area Sunday evening. Of course, this is a story we will continue to monitor as the story develops this morning. Breaking news overnight. It looks like we're going to get to see the GOAT compete after all. USA Gymnastics confirming overnight that both Simone Biles and Suni Lee will be taking part in the balance beam final. That's tomorrow. Of course, this is going to be Biles' first competition since dropping out of the team final last week over mental health concerns. She decided to sit out 4 other events as well. Tomorrow's final will be Biles' very last chance to secure any individual Olympic medal. She did earn a silver medal in the team final. And our coronavirus coverage here at 6:03. Oregon right now in the midst of another wave of increasing coronavirus cases. But one expert says we are facing a new challenge on the front lines, and that's not enough workers. Our sister station checked in with Portland Hospital Systems to find out where they stand with staff. Now, neither Peace Health or Providence had much to say. Kaiser Permanente said that they're always looking for nurses and adding incentives as well. Legacy Emmanuel gave those some specifics. They have over 1,000 openings right now. A local expert said that hospitals elsewhere in the state are very constrained. And a major factor is how few staff they actually have right now compared to the other ways that we saw in this pandemic.
This pandemic has been really tough on healthcare workers. They're stressed, they're burned out, some are choosing to retire, and some are choosing to change jobs or leave the profession. As a result, we're seeing lots of staffing constraints in many different positions, really all across the state.
OHSU, meanwhile, is reporting an increase in staffing year over year. However, they wouldn't specify if that includes their frontline medical staff or not. And they do say that one of the best ways to improve the situation, they're suggesting that everyone get vaccinated. Well, across the nation, states are asking for progress with COVID-19 vaccinations. We do know the CDC reported more than 346 million shots were administered this weekend alone. Officials say that Saturday was also the 5th straight day of at least 700,000 shots that were given. Now, 49.6% of Americans are fully vaccinated. 20 states, including Washington State, have fully vaccinated more than 50% of its population as well. And this morning, we are monitoring a situation growing more desperate by the day. Tens of thousands of migrants making their way to the U.S. with not enough resources to help or process them, and many of them infected with COVID-19. At least 87 Border Patrol agents from just 2 sectors in Texas have tested positive. 27% of unaccompanied children deported, that is, also testing positive for the virus. And the case number forcing the temporary shutdown of Catholic Charities. That's a nonprofit helping to care for the migrants.
They're saying, forget about political party. We need help down here.
President Biden has spent much of his first 6 months in the office focused on the coronavirus and how to slow the spread. His critics say he is ignoring one region where the numbers may be surging the most. Of course, it's a story we will continue to follow. Meanwhile, Cuba reported a record rise in single-day COVID-19 cases and deaths on Sunday. Health officials saw 87 COVID-related deaths and, listen to this, nearly 10,000 new cases. They also say that recent anti-government protests could lead to more coronavirus infections on the island. That's as they've also organized mass rallies in support for the communist-run government. According to figures from the Cuban Health Ministry, more than 2.6 million people in Cuba have received all 3 doses of the island's homegrown vaccines. Cuba has a population of roughly 11.3 million people.
I believe the Senate can quickly process relevant amendments and pass this bill in a matter of days.
Some promising news from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He expects a vote on the Senate's infrastructure deal before the end of the week. Now, they're weighing in on it more at more than 2,700 pages. We're talking about the legislative text of that bill, which is now complete. The bipartisan group of senators worked all weekend long to get things done. Schumer took the procedural step to place the bipartisan group's text as a substitute amendment, making it the base of this bill. And now that it's done, the Senate will consider additional amendments to the bipartisan framework.
I want to congratulate the members of the bipartisan group for their efforts. We haven't done a large bipartisan bill of this nature in a long time. I have worked with my colleagues throughout the process to help produce an outcome that all parties find acceptable. I've tried to prod the negotiators when they've needed it and given them space when they've asked for it.
This legislation represents...
Republican Senator Susan Collins says that she believes at least 10 GOP senators will back the bill. That should be enough to get it passed.
I'll take another look outside what we're dealing with this week as we start to see more of that heat on the way. No surprise that we do still have a couple of issues with heat watches, warnings, and advisories, but nowhere near as widespread as it's been. There's 2 spots down to the south there in Medford, a heat advisory, and off to the north, we've got an excessive heat warning. But right here in the middle is the one I want to draw your attention to, that fire weather warning in the forecast. That's going to be with us through eastern Lynn, Lane, and parts of Douglas County. Yet again today, it is still hot, dry, and windy. And while we may not be looking at much in terms of those lightning strikes as a possibility in this forecast, that is still more than enough to cause some big problems out there. So just make sure you're staying safe as we move through the next couple of days. Still dealing with plenty of that fire weather danger, clearing out our skies a bit, but expect some of that haze to work its way back in as we move through the rest of the day today. No real surprise there. That is still a big issue for us, as it has been the past couple of days. And on top of that, winds going to pick up once again, single digits for the time being, but expecting some more of those double-digit wind speeds to start to kick back up as we head into this afternoon, from 15 to 20 mile per hour winds over on the coast to double digits here in the valleys. And tomorrow, going to keep that going once again. Another couple of days of some more of that hot, dry, and windy weather before we finally start to see a much more meaningful change right around the corner. A chance to cool off and a chance to actually bring some showers back back into town. We'll go ahead and walk you through exactly when it's heading your way. Track it out for you coming up in just a bit. Sean?
All right, John, we're coming up on 10 after the hour. Do you remember those Zoom bombings last year? People crashing Zoom meetings? Well, it looks like it's going to cost the video chat service. We have new details on that multi-million-dollar settlement.
See if they'll come for us. Come on, girls!
Plus, sheep and solar panels, the odd combination that's become a nationwide trend in the renewable energy. Your consumer news is straight up after this.